or y'all think black lights on the street lights are conspiracy, or Walmart, or the camps. COVID vaccine. Well, check this shit out. This is going to be making your new money. Alright, and as you can tell, it is a black cotton paper. Well, it's cotton. It's really not paper. But yeah, next year and a half, you're going to start seeing paper that's actually black. Black money. So, you tell me we're not going to the dark.
Okay, guys, so we found this weird looking little spider thingy in the garage, and
right? Nothing.
When you type
over here, look. Every time I touch my phone, it freaking
tap it crazy.
moves.
Tap it crazy.
Look, look, look. But yet, I'm tapping the table and nothing. And I go here on my phone and I touch the camera. It's like if it feels what I'm touching on the camera.
Okay, go. Ooh, that is so weird.
How and why?
Ew.
Was Marilyn Monroe's untimely death the result of her wanting to expose aliens to Hollywood? Many would say yes, and it was due to the information given to her by Robert and John Kennedy. The actress and model would lose her life on August 5th, 1962, from an apparent drug overdose. They would find her in her Los Angeles home. She was just 36 years old. But it wouldn't take long before her closest friends and family said no way. There was actually a cover-up going on. In his most recent documentary, Unacknowledged, ufologist Stephen Greer would draw the same conclusion. Released back in 2017, Greer claims to have received a top-secret tape recording of a conversation between Robert Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe. And the date written on this recording was just 2 days before Marilyn Monroe's death. The title of the document he received was called Project Moondust, which is the phrase the CIA would use when talking about UFOs. Mentioned in the recording was Marilyn Monroe's meeting with President John F. Kennedy at a secret base where the things from outer space were. Many speculate that the spaceships he took her to see were the ones that crashed in Roswell in 1947. In other words, most likely he took her to Area 51. It has been said that the reasoning behind her death was that she wanted to expose what she saw to Hollywood. She was threatening this because both Robert and John decided it was better to stop dating her. What do y'all think?
Y'all, I'm getting scared. Check this out. Hey Google, say that thing you just said a second ago.
Sure, I said, on October 31st, 2021, Google Pyramid will launch. This program will listen in on homes for suspicious activity and report findings.
Yeah, what?
Birds look normal until you dig deeper. They sit on the wires to recharge.
Y'all won't believe what Elon Musk has to say about artificial intelligence. And what he has to say is pretty damn scary. So if you want to know what it is, just keep watching. This shit's crazy.
If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants. We're just building a road. And so goodbye anthill.
I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far.
Alexa, what was the joke?
Why did the chicken cross the road? Because humans are a fragile species who have no idea what's coming next.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
Why I'm starting to believe that ancient people had advanced technology. Let's take a look. Well, for once, they created architecture that still puzzles scientists to this day, such as the pyramids of Giza. All we have is theories, but we have no idea how they did it. Even with our modern tech, we don't know how to replicate what they did. Ancient people worked with difficult stones such as granite, one of the hardest materials on Earth. They created amazing architecture and design that almost looked 3D printed. They created huge bronze statues such as the Colossus of Rhodes, which is 108 feet. This site is known as Pumapunku in Bolivia. To this day, these stones puzzle scientists. These stones in Pumapunku in Bolivia are having archaeologists and scientists scratching their heads. They say that it's absolutely impossible creating these structures with hammer and chisel. The only way to make this is with power tools, advanced technology. So much for the ancient people being primitive. Maybe we're the primitive ones. They even have drill holes that don't look man-made, but made with some type of advanced power tool. Their structures have stood the test of time, while our newly built roads can't even last a few years. Now the question is, what happened to them?
Matrix symbology we overlook.
NASA stands for Never a Straight Answer. CIA stands for Clowns in America. MTV, better known as Masonic Television. This one's simple. Television tells lies to your vision. Hollywood actually stands for Hollywood, as in the tree. That tree was known for making wands to cast spells, and funny enough, what's called the group of people and actors in a Hollywood set. Sure as hell can't leave out the government, who governs the mental.
The moon has an odd orbit, which means that the same side of the moon is always facing Earth.
Even stranger still, during an eclipse, the moon disk is perfectly covering the disk of our sun. Not more or not less eclipse the sun, but to perfectly eclipse the sun. In that orbit and that size, the odds are a zillion to 1, which suggests that our moon is actually in an artificial orbit around our planet.
Is it just me, or is there anybody else out there that constantly thinks to themselves, what is this reality? I think we get caught up going through the motions of life, but we're literally this consciousness inside of a brain attached to this nervous system, and we put on this flesh vehicle where we live on a giant rock where we also don't know where it came from, being pulled through space around other rocks at 67,000 miles per hour.
What scientists really discovered at the depths of the Mariana Trench. A couple years prior to filmmaker James Cameron's 2012 solo dive into the Mariana Trench, a group of scientists would report a mysterious encounter they had while exploring her depths. Before the dive, they had picked up a massive anomaly on their radar. And even though they assumed it was a large gas cloud recently released from the bottom of the ocean, the lead oceanographer and his assistant were excited to take the dive. It was also noted that they were the only ones brave enough to. As they approached the large rounded anomaly, they begin hearing something. And they notice that as they're hearing the sound, they can feel the pressure of the water changing around them. "You sure you want to continue?" asked the oceanographer. "How could we not?" said his assistant, and they continue. They get within 100 feet of the anomaly, and they notice something metallic and shiny in the water. "What is that?" they say. That's when whatever it is lets out a loud screech, like nothing they have ever heard before. You can literally feel the vibrations of the high-pitched screaming. Then suddenly, as soon as it started, it stops, and the anomaly has disappeared. The oceanographer looks over at his colleague, and her eyes are wide. "What's wrong?" he asks. The sound we were hearing and the pressure change that we were feeling before the screams was breathing.
Our DNA holds a message. I went into one of the oldest and most mysterious spiritual texts, the Sefer Yetzirah, and it's only been translated into English once. Every single alphabet that has ever been known to exist has always had a mysterious number linked to the letter that it represents. When I took the ancient alphabets and I replaced the elements of the DNA with those alphabets, the DNA began to read as you read letters in a sentence in a page upon a book. When we replaced those letters with a periodic table and we began reading the text, the very first sentence in every strand of DNA literally says the words, God eternal within the body.
What is the first thing you will do when you learn how to astral project? I'll go first. But first, let's be real. We all think as soon as we astral project, we're gonna do all this crazy and cool stuff. But we have to remember we're going to a whole nother layer of reality with different rules and life forms. But once I do get good at it, I'll be visiting different inhabited planets throughout the galaxy, learning about different species. I will be taking all this wisdom I learned from them and teach it to you guys. But I wouldn't just talk with them, I'd become friends with them so that they could also help us on our planet. I would explore all the planets in our solar system to see what they're like. I would definitely visit my ancestors and spirit guides. And I'd be going to places like the depths of the oceans and Antarctica to see what's actually there. I'm for real curious to hear where you guys would explore and what you would actually do. I think the astral realm is the coolest thing ever, and we should all learn how to do it. This is a natural ability that the universe gave us to explore it, and I am ready to do it.
Atlantis and the other continent was Lemuria, Pan, or simply Mu, and there seems to be a lot of ancient and historical maps showing them exactly where they appear on the moon map. What's more interesting, if you look at the volcano and seismic activity and the map of the bottom of the ocean, you'll see that there is something down there that is no longer visible on the surface of the ocean, and this has been recently confirmed by mainstream media. They call it deceptively Icelandia or Zealandia. The truth is, it's an old continent that sunk, and it appears that it happened not that long ago, because in 2007 it was discovered that there are underwater structures indicating historical existence of cities in that region. But one of the most important proofs of the existence of these continents is an old map by an Italian cartographer named Urbano Monte. He created one of the biggest and most detailed maps of the old world, and it is very similar to the picture we see on the moon every day. The map shows both Lemuria and Atlantis, but it shows so much more than that. It is possible that it tells the true history of Earth, as the animals are located on completely different continents and they appear to have each place for themselves, not like today where they're all crammed together into one continent. What's interesting is that it shows allegedly mythical creatures that today are considered to be legends, like unicorns, phoenixes, dragons, griffins, centaurs, mermaids, and sea monsters. What's fascinating is that occasionally a creature like this will be washed up on the shore or a beach, like in the case of this seahorn monster that we see on the map here, and it validates the historical existence of them a long time ago. Also, there are creatures on the map that are known only to certain cultures, and we know about them from fairy tales, yet they're depicted on this map for some reason. This map and the image on the moon prove that this might be the true history of the Earth, and that this is what the continents really look like. To those of you who know the true nature of this channel, I want to show you something that should validate the whole story to you. This map was created when Urbano was 43 years old at that time, and he made it in 1587, which today makes it exactly 434 years ago. We all know what this means. Another very interesting aspect of that map is that there appears to be twice as much land outside of our known world, and this probably is the reason why for the last half a century going outside of the Antarctic Circle has been not only illegal but nearly impossible due to military presence over there. In this case, there's also a lot of historical proof that this land exists, and one of the main ones is the...
And this is why you don't understand why the bed is so comfortable, bro. You ever think about why your bed's so comfortable? Oh, you're supposed to sleep comfortable, that's why, because you don't want to sleep with your back hurting and bro, you ever think why it be so hard to get out the bed, bro? You don't think the bed be draining your energy from you, bro? You feel me? You ever slept on the floor and you actually woke up actually feeling better than you actually sleeping in the bed? You feel so, when you sleep in the bed, you feel so drained, bro. You feel me? I'm not saying I'm not sleeping in the bed. I'm sleeping in the bed. I don't give a damn. But I'm not telling you how to sleep on the floor. I'm just saying, you ever think why things are set up to be the way it is, bro? You see what I'm saying? You ever feel like you're getting sunk into the bed, for me? Whole time, like the bed's out there in quicksand and they guard and they controlling this, you feel me? Get they Sandman mouth ass on whole time, right? Because, bro, everything around you is set up for you to be a failure, bro. Understand this, bro. Never to really understand the power, the truth behind you, bro. Behind the creation of you, my mans, my females, bro. Think about that, bro. It's a lot going on.